Hey guys, Father Time here. We are going to do just a comprehensive flight on the 747-8 freighter operating out of Paine Field in Everett, Washington. I wanted to take you through kind of a whole flight on Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, how we set it up, how we get going, so you can help me, and we can put comments and suggestions in there, but maybe some of you will gain a little bit. So you upload Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Once you get it all set, you're going to get asked to choose an avatar. You configure the avatar. You'll ask if you want to start on the exterior pre-flight, which I did. This is the home screen that you'll get every time. Accessibility for those of us who are visually, auditory, motor, or cognitively impaired. But we don't need that. And we're going to go to start. And here we go. Upper right-hand corner, you have settings. You'll recognize these from previous versions of Microsoft Flight Simulator, especially 2020 is where you bind your controls. You can see that I have selected the keyboard for 2020. It's quite different than the one for 2024. So I do 2020, and I apply it to all aircraft, airplane controls, and general controls. I apply it to all aircrafts. It's got 747 specific controls, -8. These are the hardware I have. So you can go through. It's pretty intuitive bonding. If you wanted to, let's say, bond, flaps, put that in. And if you want to look down here, filters, assign. There's nothing assigned to my Boeing yoke. If you look at my throttle quadrant, increased flaps, here it is. If you wanted to change it, come in here, click it, turn it off, and you can see, or turn it off down here. You can reassign it to whatever you want on your thing. So that's kind of how you work through that. Hostage sticks, all that I have, I'm going to clear this out here. Well, I've cleared everything off my hostage stick. I just use that for these 3 items. And that's why I have that on there. If it's a duplicate item, like you go to the keyboard, you see where it says 8, 9, 8, 1, those are duplicates. If you click on it, right here, you can see all the different things that are assigned to that button. So sometimes you get a flicker, it's a chance that you have a duplicate. Anyway, that's basically how you bond the controls. These are assistants. See, I put on the auto rudder. I find Microsoft Flight Simulator, when you land, if you don't have that on, the thing just goes crazy. So I've auto rudders all I have. And I disabled crash damage, and that's how I've got things set up here. General, flight model. That's what I have. Flight interface. Here's an important thing. I've turned off all the flight interfaces where you turn off all the land markers, city markers, airport. You can see it there. And what I've done is gone to legacy. If you leave it in modern, or lock rather, instrument tooltip names or turn those off. So I go to legacy so I can turn off the tooltips so you don't get those as you move the cursor around, a description as to what it is. That's that one. And I've not touched my graphics. So what you're seeing, I'm about to upgrade my motherboard and my processor, but as my Discord guys wanted me to do and said it was a good idea, I have not changed any of the advanced options such as terrain or decrease any of that stuff. This is what I have for now. I haven't gotten around to adjusting next. I don't know how. User interface, subtitles, animation, and you get it. Anyway, that's that. Go up here. There's I have a total of 15 flights. I've only gotten airborne once. Most of those are just on the ground doing pre-flights, trying to get things mapped. It's taken me days because I don't know my stuff. These are notifications. I have none. These are my friends that are online. I have no friends. These are my messages. And back to the flight sim. That's how we do this. That's coming soon. If you want to go to my library, I have the Aviator package, which means I'm supposed to have everything that's already streamed, all these items, where it says if it's not streamed, not installed, premium, deluxe, none of that has been installed yet. I guess that's coming later. And you can see all the different things I have. There they are. Anyway, I wanted to just show you around the home board there. So let's go back and all the way to the home screen. Save and go back, quit the desktop. Free flight is the old world map. Let's start there. I'm going to start at Paine Field, KPAE. Guys, the reason I'm doing this, I was doing some work out of, that's Everett Field, one of the Boeing fields. I was doing some work out of Kennedy, and man, it was terrible. The frames per second were terrible. I came to Paine Field, and they were great. Freaky D makes a great package here, but he hasn't adjusted it for this sim yet. Set his departure right there. We're going to back out and go to runway 16, take off and fly over to Helena, Montana. If you want to see that on here, KHLN, there's something I want to show you. Right down here, electronic flight bag. On here, you can either go right to the flight and program to the FMC, which I'm going to do. But if you go to EFB here, start on the top, you can actually, it knows you're going to Helena from Paine Field, runway 16. You could put it, it's going to do the Paine 6, departure, ILS 17 there. That's what it's got planned. You can go through and you can load everything up here, and you can either file it at the end, you can file it on like a VATSIM network, or send it, but you can send it to the aircraft. Those are some of your charts that you can for the flight. It's pretty cool. So anyway, that's what that's for. But down here, this same this part can be accessed through the top of the panel, up on the top. Flight performance, mass, center of gravity, everything's in there. We'll just do that when we get to the aircraft. But anyway, that's a full electronic flight bag where you can actually send it to your airplane. We're not going to do that today. Right now on this airplane, there is no sim brief upload capability, so everything's done manually. Let's start the flight. Anyway, just a couple of things I wanted to show you there, so that when you finally get booted up Microsoft Flight Simulator, you kind of have an orientation as to what you're looking at. I think it's great. Yeah, it's a cloud first Microsoft Flight Simulator that's cloud-based. I have a real good internet connection, but you'll notice that my technical skills are not great. Here we are. I'm going to start my walk around on the ground as far as the computer goes. You guys been helping me out a lot with that. So here we are, parked at Paine Field. Wing flex going. I just think it's cool. Let's get started. We're going to be outside the airplane. So I apologize for any kind of bouncing around. I do have a controller here that my friend Benchy hooked me up with. If you want to get these covers off, just look at it. You can point your mouse at it. Take off the covers. See these pins? Let me show you a little trick. The pins on these aircraft. It's not. This is just all of them. You got to get right underneath it to take the pins off. I was getting so frustrated. I was going to make a liar out of me, right, guys? Look up here. Come on, Big Mama. There we go. So, and you can release them that way. All right, walk around now. Let me show you a little cool thing. We're going to come in here. Remember, down on the bottom here. If you go here to aircraft checklists, exterior inspection. If you, for the first time, it's quite helpful. Let's say you want to go to the cabin door. You visually check the cabin door. You get the little symbol, and it usually will light up where the cabin door is. Anyway, so as you go along, you can click everything, and it teaches you how to do it. So I'm going to do it with you. I start at the cabin door. We'll do a whole walk around. This is going to be a time-stamped flight, guys, so you can move it around. These are your taxi lights up here, your runway turn-off lights right there. This is the panel that the ground crew uses to contact you. This is your strut. You want some strut showing. It's 180 psi on the nose gear, normally 210 on the main. You set the treads. You got some strut showing all the way around. Looking up in the wheel well, making sure there's no hostages, no pins. There might be a bypass. The only pin you'll usually see will be up here. Will be a steering bypass pin that you'll see. Next thing you do is come way out here. turn around, look back up, and check out the condition of the radome. You can see these are static discharge wicks, these lines on there. Check the condition of the wiper, glazing, seal around the window. Something I should have done up here as we walk around. Isn't this cool? Check the, this is a TAT probe right here. TAT probe. This is the angle of attack probe, AOA vane. These are pitos, standby, and captains and standby. There's two on each side. This looks like turn-off lights, illumination lights rather, area illumination lights. On this side you have FO's pitot tube with the aux for him, and they have the AOA here, TAT probe. Check underneath the condition of the rotating beacon. If you want to open the door, I wouldn't do it, guys. Right now, I'm having trouble moving these doors around, but you can do it that way. We'll do it for today. I don't, at the moment, I don't believe there's, if you know of one, please tell me, a way to open and close doors from inside the aircraft. So sometimes GSX will ask you to open 1L, and you can't do it because you have no controls for it as of now. So no sim brief download, no controls on this. It's a pretty good model, guys. It's got a ways to go. It'll get better and better. I'm sure of that. We'll close that door. This is your static port. You know, it's part of what goes into the computer for the altimeter. Want to make sure there's no tape, nothing inside that circle. Wing illumination light. Look at this big boy. Condition of the upper and lower rotating beacons. Pack inlet doors are right here. At this pack inlet door, check it clear of obstructions. Clear of obstructions. There's your rotating beacon underneath there. You can see we have main gear up here. That's the landing lights. Just giving you a little walk around here. I checked the condition of the blades and the honeycomb inside here. Any damages should be in the CDL and annotated. You can check the reverser doors stowed. It will slide back. If it's not stowed, it definitely should be stowed. Now, as you go, guys, you can come here and click these off, and you notice that the exterior inspection is starting to move that over. You can see it here. Starting to fill up the circle. When you're done, it will turn green. Again, doors, come around the back, looking for any kind of fluids, puddles on the bottom of the engine. Here is called maintenance. Discharge, same thing on the number 4 engine. These are number 3 and 4s on this side. Looks like catering. A little close there, buddy. No water, no nothing, no fluids dripping. Thrust reverser access panel. The door is stowed. Condition of the blades. It's got a little spinner for the engine anti-ice that goes around. It automatically detects ice and then sheds ice off there. It's got automatic anti-ice on this thing. Really cool. Same thing with the 777, which I retired off. Coming off on the wings, depending on the aircraft that you're on, I think this one has 9. You count the static wicks. You can take off with some of them missing. These are discharge wicks. So if static electricity builds up on the wing, I think we have 9 on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, on each wing. I think there's 7 on the tail. But we would know that. Those are the fuel dump. Right there. Check the condition of the ailerons and the flaps. Coming on in, we're going to do some gear. You can see we have 4 trucks to inspect. Isn't this cool? It's worth it. We're going to do a full flight here, and it will be bookmarked. Looks like the brake wear pins are right there and there. Want to make sure they're above flush so you can see some brake wear pins, and with the brakes released. The treads on the tires are good. About 210 on the pressure. I don't know if it has a pressure gauge on here. Might not. Might be inside the aircraft. And once again, strut showing. Some strut showing. No fluids coming down. Brake wear pins again. Look up in the wheel well. There should definitely not be any pins in here. The only pin you should have is that steering bypass pin in the nose gear. If there was a pin, you'd have to come down and have, when it was taken out, you couldn't just say, oh, it's take their word for it. You're required to visually come down, make sure those pins are out. All right, checking the fuselage, illumination. You can open this door if you wanted to. We'll close it though. Here's a bulk door. I don't think it's operative. This is bulk cargo. They throw extra bags in there.
United 758, maintain
It's not,
separation with
I don't believe it's
traffic ahead.
pressurized.
Reduce speed to 200 knots.
Might be.
Reducing to 200 knots for separation, United 758.
This looks like outflow valves, I would guess, because APU exhaust is off the tail. Isn't this cool? Looking up here, how many wicks do we have here? 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And up on the tail, we have 4. So you would just know the wicks on your airplane, and like I said, maintenance would have to come out and sign some of them off. If you want to know your tail number, here it is for your flight plan. If you filed it like I showed you. We do have a sim brief flight plan that I'll be working off when I program the box. APU exhaust. APU is not running right now. We are in a cold, dark airplane. Looking up here, check condition of the elevator and the rudder. On here in real life, there'll be a little line. One will be for 0, the other for 3 degrees nose up. Make sure that that's, because when you park at the gate, you usually set 3 degrees nose up. It gets a drainage off the fluid drainage off the tail. So you want to make sure that that's calibrated properly. I don't think this door operates. Oh, it does. I lied. So cool. Guys are so smart. All right, let's come back in here. We'll do the center gear trucks. Remember, strut, brake wear pins, strut, brake wear pins, strut, brake wear pins. Da, 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 da. Same thing here. Strut, brake wear pins, fluids. Make sure there's no pins that, or else you have to come downstairs again. Make sure they're out. Hydraulic reservoirs are in there. I don't think this door opens up. Gear doors. Sometimes they'll be hanging down. When you come out to the aircraft, you can take a look in there. Going around the wing. Again, checking the condition of the inboard flaps, ailerons. As your dump valve, dump exit point right there. Nozzle, dump nozzle. And 9 static wicks. Coming back around. Got your nav and position lights. Red is on right, left is on green. Anyway, you might have those should be off right now. They should be on if you have power on the aircraft. If they weren't and you did have them on, you'd have to write it up, have maintenance come out. No fluids in the tail.
402, Papa Echo, maintain 8500 traffic, 2 o'clock, 5 miles.
Reverser door. Condition of the blades, condition of honeycomb, any damage, make sure it's in the book.
Papa Echo.
Leading edge is good.
Diamond Tree 4 Alpha Bravo,
Reverser
traffic
door,
10 o'clock, 4 miles level at 90500.
blades, honeycomb,
Looking for traffic,
up
Diamond
to the
Tree 4 Alpha
wing,
Bravo.
landing lights, pack inlet doors, static airports. These are overboard exhaust valves, and static port right there. Another static port. And that is the exterior inspection. But if you take a look here, which is kind of cool, if you want to use these checklists, excellent for getting used to it. You can see, all right, we did pitot tube, lower anti-collision beacon, right landing lights. We talked about all this stuff. Aileron, flaps. Now, if you left on the labels, I turned them off like I showed you. If you left those on, they would illuminate as you touched them. And there'd be little white dots on every place that you have to look. I turned that all off. Elevators, rudder, thrust reverser, engine cowling, left wing. You can see the circles filling up out here. Aileron and flaps, we talked about that. Left forward fuselage, landing light, and it's complete, as you can see. Go inside and turn on the power and start doing this stuff. To get inside the aircraft, you got to push this door. Woohoo! And you're going to end up inside. I am not going to use GSX because I've had very limited success with it. I'm going to turn this checklist out of the way. I'll tell you, we'll follow it for the first one here. We're going to go a battery switch. I'm telling you guys, I'm getting nice smooth movements now. That is due to being at Paine Field and not at Kennedy. So if you're having herky-jerky stuttering, go to a different field at the moment. External power, and I have a really good internet connection here, 1,000 megabytes per second. Anyway, external power is on, batteries on. Standby power is auto. Hydraulic demand pumps are off. They're off. Windshield, right here, windshield wipers are off. You don't want to scratch the gear, gear, the window, and landing gear down. I will say that normally you come in, the area inspection is start switches are cut off, throttles are idle, reversers are down, spoilers down, gear handles down. Gear handle is not down. Always interesting, huh? That was me for my last flight. I terminated in the air, in the middle of the air. Had to go back to work taking care of my grandkids. Wiper, I check the dump switches are off, and come up here, and then we start doing the overhead. External power is established. And that's the power, and battery switch is on. And there you go. You can see the checklist is complete. In pre-flight, if you remember, just like every other aircraft, I think Boeing goes top to bottom. Airbus goes bottom to top. But I'm not going to show you this, but let's see IRS selectors. There we go. Click it. I'll move this over while I do this column. And IRS selectors are all in nav. Standby power, batteries on, auto, bus ties are off. Hydraulic panels should all be, these pumps should all be off. These are demand pumps. They're on with the pressure light is on. You can turn your lighting up, turn it up here. Some of these are modeled, some aren't. Wasted my time there, huh? And I like to get my PFDi and ND lighting. Sorry, guys. Up here, I should do this in normal position. I'm being lazy. This is where you do your inboard, outboard, panel. Turn the lighting up. Okay. But anyway, you do the bus tie switches auto, generator control switch auto, IRS APU. So if you go to the top, and let's start the APU. You have to do the fire test first. We're not going to do that. I'm going to turn this to start, hold it for a second, and release it. APU start selector start. APU generator switches will be on. APU generator switches will be on when they are available. They are available. So they're on. That was, maybe the APU was already running. And anytime I turn on the APU, I go ahead and turn, I'm going to turn this off, get rid of this here. I turn on the APU bleed over here and the packs. Get some cooling air coming in the aircraft, cooling or heating air. Coming down, pumps are off, breakers are there. All the way up top, cabin audio, emergency lights are covered, switch, they're armed. These are fire handles. These are your discharge for the APU. It's your cargo fire suppressants. This is your entire fire. These are your 4 start switches. I'm going to start 4, 1, 2, and 3. That's how I'm going to do it. This is a dump panel that I wanted to make sure they were all off before I came in. You put it on A or B and click the nozzles. These 2 fuel cross feeds, if you don't have anything in the center, close those or you're going to get a tank to engine. Close those. Fuel pumps, they're already on. I didn't turn them on. Normally they're off when you come in here, but you would turn those on before start. Are we in auto here, or this? We usually leave the engine, anti-ice in auto. Auto, and the wing anti-ice. Yeah, you can leave that. We leave that in auto as well. Everything is in auto, and the engine ice. Window heat is on.
November 556,
Lights are out.
Bravo,
Only
Quebec
one that should be on is the nav. That's
identify.
on. Strobes wing. Logo's on. Indicator's
654,
good.
November 556, Bravo, Quebec.
This yaw damper will go lights are in op because we're still running the ILSs, which I should have come in here and gone. The database is good. Today is November 24th. It's good to the 28th. If you want to get the other database in, click here, bring it up. A position. We'll align these, and we're going to go KPAE for informational purposes. We'll know that. Put that there. That's all we have to do with that right now. See the fuel, 178.7. We're supposed to have 40,000. Block fuel, 57,000. So I'm going to go down here. There's a little trick. Menu, settings, weight and balance. And you're going to type in your fuel that you want. 56,595. So watch up here. 56,595. And through the miracle sim hood, there it is. That's good. Zero fuel weight. Zero fuel weight is 666,350. 666.
Delta 234, contacting Atlanta Center at 135.6. Contacting
So
Atlanta
relieved
Center
that we're getting a better
135.6, Delta 234.
Move here. Cargo. Cargo. Block fuel cargo. 227,375. 227,375. And that changed my zero fuel weight. So don't put in your cargo if you're going to put in a zero fuel weight. Captain Marvel. 666,350. What a memory. Payload is 77%. Passenger count should be only should really be zero. I don't think we had anybody in there. We were in a freighter. Passengers 25. Okay, but we're going to leave that. That changes to zero fuel weight. So we don't do that. Just do that, and that's what we're going to go with. 666,375, and it kind of makes it goes right away. You see the CG actual is 8.51, min is 11, max is 33. So we're not going to add ballast, but it's a little bit bothersome. But okay. So how are we doing on the overhead? So we did the this pressurization valve. Make sure that those are in normal position. Landing altitude would go in automatically. You get the flight deck controls, cabin controls. Equipment cooling is in normal, not standby. Don't know why that was in standby. It's still in line. Packs are on, bleeds are on, and it's that. I'm up here. Checklist. Take it all over. AP generator switches, hydraulic demand. I'm just doing this for you. Fuel pumps should be off. They've got them on up there. I probably should turn those off. I don't know why it came here on. They just basically running out electricity we don't need to do. Cargo temps, trim air switches, we talked about all this. Recirc fan, packs are on, ISO switch, APU bleed is on, engine bleeds are on, nav lights are on, logos, flight directors up, and we're onto the glacier control panel. While I'm here, guys, let me go back up and turn off the fuel panel, the pumps. They really shouldn't be on until just prior to engine start. We're not going to have any fuel in the center, so the center tank pumps should be off with these cross feeds out. This is how you usually find it. I'm just telling you that tank to engine, make sure you close those two if you get that message, which we'll see. Okay, let's go to the glare shield. We'll come over here, get this set up. Our cruise altitude going over to Helena. There is no SID out of here, out of Paine Field. 35,000. Let me see our route of fly here. There's really no SID. There's this Paine departure. What does it have for an altitude? It really doesn't.
Delta
So
256,
we're going to use say
airport
intentions.
descend and maintain
See that at the bottom left there?
That's
We're going to use that.
descending to 6,000, Delta 256.
But, no altitude, so we'll get that on clearance. And then runway heading 163. I think last time I flew out of here, I tried this yesterday. and I had to leave. But last time I flew on here, they told me a 160 heading on departure. So why don't we put that in for 16 right? We'll talk about the flight plan in just a minute. And we'll get the V2 in the ballpark. V2 is, probably going to be around 160, I would guess, for a short flight like this. 160. I have my honeycomb Bravo throttle switches active. Bindings complete. Flight directors are on, auto throttles are on. You get the Toga up here. We'll be using VNAV, but no LNAV because we'll be heading. I'm going to go set the altimeter to local altimeters just by clicking B on my panel here. Let's see. Doesn't seem to want to work. I'll have to check that out. Terrain, airport, and data are the ones I like to use. Terrain, airport, and data. Doesn't look like data is modeled. Altimeter, let's check out the current weather. Let me get signed on to say intentions. Let me show you what we're going to use here. Got a co-pilot named Brian. We don't have a flight attendant today because we're cargo. Here it is. I just booted it up. I have the partner program. I have a full year subscription. I love this, the artificial intelligence on it. I've got auto-tune the frequencies, auto-tune the transponder. English is the language we'll be speaking today. Here's the different languages available to you. Username, here it is. Identity, father time, 123. We'll see about that. My flight plan is actually under UPS 123. And that's a different aircraft model, tail number. Yeah, that's a little different. Aircraft model is Boeing. Boeing 747-8. We'll just put that in there. Father time 123, or use you can use UPS call sign here. So we'll go to here, and it'll be the sim brief UPS call sign. It's UPS 123. We're simulating a charter flight from Paine Field, Everett, Washington to Montana. Looks like the IRS is just aligned because we get that. Now, if you look on the overhead, those yard damper lights are now out. So that's that. Let me see what else we get to show you here. Headset. Volume controls are on the headset. I got my mic. If it's not working, you can test it here. Controls. This is to talk to the flight attendants and the FO. Let me talk to Brian, the FO here. And good morning, Brian. How you doing, buddy? It takes him a while to answer you.
Good evening, Father Time. I'm doing well, thank you. Ready to assist with the comms whenever you're ready to hand them over.
Okay, you have the comms, Brian. Watch here from pilot. It's going to go to co-pilot.
I've got the comms, Father Time. I'll handle the ATC communications from here on out.
Okay, thanks, Brian. Let's get the ATIS.
Advise on initial contact. You have information November.
You're welcome, Father Time. Let me know when you're ready for me to handle the
Snohomish
ATC
County,
communications, or
Paine
if you need
Field,
any briefings.
Airport, information November. 1632 Zulu. Wind calm.
Paine
Visibility
Airport
1/2
information
mile.
Tango.
Sky conditions,
1700
solid
Zulu.
overcast at
Wind calm.
2500 feet.
Visibility
Temperature
9er.
6.
Sky condition
Dew point
clear.
4.
Temperature
Altimeter
15.
2985.
Dew point
Arriving
13.
and departing runways
Altimeter
16 right.
Okay, guys. 16 right. Information November. 2985 on the altimeter. We're setting that down here. Uh, 2985, 2985 three times. Okay, and let's get clearance before we do the rest of this. Okay, Brian, could you get our clearance to Helena, Montana, please? While he's doing that, we'll come down.
I'll take care of getting our IFR clearance to Helena, Montana.
I'm going to go RTO on the brakes. Gear handles down. Spoiler levers down. Flaps up. Speed brake levers down. These fuel switches were down, and now they're up. I must have something misbonded.
Snohomish County Airport
Guys.
clearance, UPS 123 Heavy. Requesting our IFR clearance.
Stab
we have
trim
November.
is up. Switches are up. They were off. That wasn't good.
UPS 123 Heavy cleared to Helena. Radar vectors Zadon, then as filed, climb and maintain 20,000. Expect flight level 35010 minutes after departure. Departure on 128.5 squawk 1555.
Snohomish County Airport
200.
cleared. UPS 123 Heavy cleared to Helena. Radar vectors Zadon, then as filed, climb to and maintain 20,000. Expect flight level 350 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 128.5, squawk 1555.
UPS 123 Heavy, read back correct.
TARA 1555 set. That is hard to see that, isn't it, guys? Let me see if I can get... That's cursor control there. Let me see if I can get some lighting down here. Gotta be honest, don't really know how to do that. If I had to guess, you're right here. And right here. Those are the CRTs. And come up here. Let's see if I can find them. Hang on. I think that's about it. Let me take a look down here. Yeah, that's a little more visible there. And Brian will handle all the frequencies. There is a tug thing that you can do pushback with, say, intentions. I should finish showing you that. I wanted to get the ATIS and the altimeter. There's our clearance right there. It's under, because I have the package here, enable ground crew and pushback. You got to go over to 1999 119.99 and you can request ground crew and pushback. But we won't do that today, but that is available. We do have en route traffic, which is going to become to everyone in December, but because I'm a partner, I get it now, early release. Miscellaneous stuff, odds of crisis in each flight. Every flight will have a crisis. ATC experience, if you put pro mode, you lose all your frequencies in your comm log. We're not going to do that. Preview, we got that. Live weather, cabin crisis every flight. You could have set it for 10%. We'll put it on every flight just so we have someone to talk to. Cabin crisis. Well, you know what? That's not very realistic because we don't have anyone. We'll say that there's a little bit of a crew back there so we can have a little fun with that. Experimental. You can click these if you want. Intercom, that's Brian. You can choose funny people for that. You can choose right now I have nobody in the back, but if you wanted to have a cabin crew back there, you could improve, pick whoever you want back there, but we're not going to do that because we don't have a cabin crew. So we're going to disable that. And we've already talked to Brian. Multiplayer, I only canned and live multiplayer proximity. I don't put on global or multiplayer because these are for people that have been here or are on the same frequency anywhere around. It's so noisy and it's not even relevant to where you are. I do share my audio so anyone else coming to Paine can use my transmissions so that this artificial intelligence can use it. Anyway, that's just who I am. I'm just a sharer, you know. So there's all my buttons all set up and we'll see how that works. And they do have us down as UPS 123 heavy. Okay, good. So Brian will go to ground next. If I want to do the transmissions myself, I just click on here and I do all the transmissions myself. Only problem is you're going to make sure that the switch is over. And there it is, 121.8. Just make sure you have the correct button pushed and you can make it, but I'm going to let Brian do it. And it's all good. So that's all modeled. Let me move this out of the way. And I just wanted to show you how to set up say intentions in case you decide that you wanted to do that. Logo lights, okay, auto throttles, bank limiter, landing gear, we did all these things. Auto brake selectors, RTO, parking brakes are set right there. Auto brake selector, you can click here if you want to find it. There it is, right? Speed brakes are down, thrust levers idle, and flaps are down. And pre-flight's almost complete. Seatbelt selector on. Fuel control switch is cut off. TKS standby. You can see pre-flight is now complete. And seatbelt sign is the only one I lied about. There it is down here. That's on. And so that's how to do the pre-flight. That's how to use the checklist. So before starting engines checklist, we're going to turn on hydraulic demand pumps to auto, fuel pumps on, beacon, and TCAS. So, okay, Brian, could you do the departure briefing, please?
Here's the departure briefing. We will be departing from runway 16 right. We'll be flying the departure with an initial climb clearance to 20,000 feet. Transition altitude is 18,000 feet. After takeoff, we'll follow the SID profile with a left turn to heading 115, intercepting Zedon, climbing to FL 240. Weather at departure shows no significant weather expected en route. In the event of an engine failure below 400 feet, we'll continue straight ahead and follow ATC instructions. Above 400 feet, we'll follow the engine out SID procedure, climbing to 3,000 feet before turning back. For any abnormalities or emergencies before V1, we'll reject the takeoff and apply maximum braking. After V1, we'll continue the takeoff, handle the emergency, and communicate with ATC. We have been cleared as filed.
We are ready for
Strong
pushback.
code is 1555 and departure frequency will be 128.5. We're configured for takeoff with flaps 5. V1 is 142 knots, VR is 147 knots, and V2 is 152 knots. We'll climb out at V2 plus 10 knots. I think we're ready to go, Captain.
That's a great briefing, Brian. Thank you. All right, guys, we'll get out here. We're going to push back, nose to the left. Going to come up and take off on 16 and go over to Montana. Anyway, that's the pre-flight. They say they're ready down there, but I don't see the tug just yet. Looks like he might be stuck, huh?
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Yeah. We'll do a simulated tug. All right, let's come on in. Hope you're enjoying this, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. It means a lot to me if you do. Don't know what's going on with that, guys. There we go. Let's go to the overhead. Want to turn on the... I'm getting a little drift here, aren't I? I just calibrated all my controllers. I did have my first flight in this. I crashed on takeoff. I made a video. Got nothing. APU generators on. External power. I have no way of taking this off, guys. It's not on the flight bag, the electronic flight bag anywhere. Here it is.
Locking gear.
You can see pre-flight, aircraft information, checklist, flight performance, center of gravity. It's about all you can do. Yeah, there's no way to do any doors right now. It's one thing I wish there was. Pilot logbook, settings for everything, other apps, flight planner. This is cool. So you could actually do this. Doesn't help you here since we haven't done the box yet. So, but anyway, we'll program it now. We got our clearance, and I just want to get the tug in position. Let's go down here. Get rid of this. All right, so let's go init. We're going to put in all our data now. Move this over here. Okay, zero fuel weight is 666.4. Reserves are 20.2. Cruise altitude is 350. Cost index is 146. You turn up the brightness here, guys. Press and hold it. Okay, that's init. Let's go to route. KPAE to Helena. Let's go to departures, arrivals. That's it. Paine 6, which is basically radar vectors. Route is we're supposed to go to Zedon Zelac. Zedon radar vectors. Yeah, that's not it. So Zedon Zelac. Zedon Zelac. I spell Zelac. Z-L-A-K. Z-E-L-A-K. Then Zelac. and then direct to Zuran. Zedon, Zilak, Zuran. Next page. And let's do departures, arrivals. Helena, it's runway 27, guys. Yeah, we just do it over the VOR, do the ILS to 7. Guys, there's going to be a really interesting thing here. Let me show you something. I'm going to go to legs. If you ever get an insert, don't do it, okay? Route, so you can execute it. Enable cruise altitude, yeah. Legs, route data. So there it is, radar vector Zeeland, Zurich, and here it is over here. That's all we're doing, very simple departure, Zeeland, Zurich. And put that back over here. So we've got a NIT, thrust limit. Now, the only thing you can do to get the takeoff data, there is no takeoff data configuration here. You got to come in here, go to the bottom of your sim brief flight plan to get your numbers that they're giving you for this flight. All right, let's see here. There we go. It's wet. It's dry. Plan takeoff Comwin. Engine ice on. Nah, we don't really need that, but we can put those numbers in. Numbers should be about the same anyway. 35 on the flex temp. Flaps 20. 29. So 35, 29, 41, 56. And that's for a TO1. So let's go TO1.
Hawker 511 Hotel Alpha Taxi to holding point Bravo
39.
Tree via taxiway Golf. Taxiing to holding point Bravo Tree via Golf Hawker 511 Hotel Alpha.
All right, 29, 41, 56. (41) 156. That's good. Page 1 of 2. So go to page 2. Make sure that your engine out acceleration is what you want. That's all good. So let's check our route. There it is. Zedon, Zilak, and Zuran. And then we'll go direct to Helena after that. Check our legs. We could actually just put in HLN. HLN 46 111. Let's check what that is on our flight plan. I have this hyper scroll mouse, and look out, it really gets going here. Helena is 46 and 111. That's it. Leave that in there. And normally you'd have to execute it like that. Okay, that's good. So we got our route, we got our legs, we got our perf over here. Come on over here, put this guy on the legs, and I'll be on takeoff data over here. Thrust limit, takeoff data. And we're going to go flaps 20. And the CG 28. Make them big. And stab trim should be 4.5. And right now it's at 5.8. .5. Okay, guys, we're ready to go just about. Come up to the overhead, finish the checklist. Now we can turn the fuel pumps on. We can turn on the center. Boeing's typically leave those off because there's nothing in. Now if we go down and check the here, fuel low center, wing anti-ice, inhibited anti-ice. So it's hard to read those. So turn these off. Close these cross feeds. Wing anti-ice. It's going to turn that off. Auto on the rest. We've got FMC engine, anti-ice. Don't know why we're getting an anti-ice message. Let me see if I, so, yeah, I didn't, you guys saw me put that to auto, so not really sure why that went there. So engine shutdown, FMC messages, those were all normal. Now we do have on the in the real 800, you have checklists here that you can run, but it's not modeled yet here. Normal, that doesn't work, so we won't run that. We'll just instead, we'll keep this on engine here. The way you actually check your fluids before you go is you go these two, and then the bottom left and right. So you go engine, and you check all your fluids, hydraulics, oil. You go to stat, and on the stat you have hydraulic pressure. You don't, RF will be showing if you need to refill. OF if it's an overfill. Sorry about that, guys. APU exhaust, everything looks good here. Main battery, everything's good. And then you come up here and you reset the checklist. Checklist, just in case they come up with this stuff before we go. And a checklist reset, and it'd say all, and you'd reset that. And the last thing you do, you see these messages, you clear them with the bottom right, and that clears them. If you want to recall them, you push it. So those are how that's how you do that stuff. So we're on engine. I do believe we're ready to go. Back to the overhead. I think I better come down this way. And I'm going to go beacon on, strobes off, wing lights off, and turn the beacon on to both. And turn these center pumps off. And we pull the external power, but it's not letting us do that. Okay, Brian, could you call for a pushback with progressive taxi, please? I don't think progressive taxi is modeled yet on the 2024. Paine Field, part
Roger
of the Boeing
that.
complex.
Father Time, I'll request pushback with progressive taxi instructions.
Freaky D has a great freeware on 2020. I don't know if he's going to bring it over to 2024.
UPS 123 Heavy requesting pushback with progressive taxi.
UPS 123, heavy pushback approved, tail east, taxi to runway 16 right via Alpha 1. Confirm you have November. I'll turn on a taxi pass for you.
And we tell them we have November. Continue the pushback. Nose to the left.
Release parking brakes, please.
Brakes release.
Commencing push.
Here we go.
All engines clear. Start at will.
Start at will. Overhead. Start number 4, then 1, 2, 3. In the real airplane, a guy who runs, I'll leave his link in the description. He actually trains people on this. Told me they start 3 and 4 together, then 1 and 2. But it's auto start. You can do 3 start. See these switches? They keep going on. So I definitely have something modeled here, guys, incorrectly. Definitely have something modeled incorrectly on these fuel switches. Something I'm touching is turning those on and off. And we're just monitoring the start. I'll let our man do that. Here we are. It's a nice pushback, huh? It'll be pretty tight taxiing out of there. What are those Airbuses doing at the Boeing facility? Yeah, Freaky D fixed all that when he did his scenery pack. It's all Boeing. It's real cool. Very realistic. He actually works in this building right off to our right here that we just pushed back from. Right over there. Boeing engineer, good friend of mine. He worked on the TFDi MD-11 team with me. I worked with him. All right, that engine started. We'll go to the overhead. We'll start number 1. Bring that fuel lever up. I have got to remember to change that bonding. Something I'm doing is still bonding those, bonded to those fuel control switches.
Please set parking brakes. Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
Yeah, let's get rid of these bad boys.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Hope you're enjoying this, guys. It's fun. You know, one of the things that we do is we all go and we figure things out, we make videos, and we don't tell people how we figured it out. So the other thing I know is if I use a stream of consciousness, tell them what I'm thinking, you guys are more apt to, you're definitely invaded by Airbuses here at our Boeing facility. You're more likely to leave comments, suggestions, go to my Discord, help me out. Please join the Discord.
Unlocking gear.
Awesome group of guys. We help each other. We have guys that are 16 years old, wannabe pilots. We have guys that are in the getting all their licenses. We have guys that fly for commuters, guys that fly for majors, retired guys like me, for super knowledgeable sim guys that aren't pilots but know everything about it. Some of the other creators like Mustafa comes by a lot. Just a lot of talent over there. Been very helpful to guys like me. That engine started. Go number 2. Start valves open. Start number 2.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
All right, 4.5. 4.5 is set. I noticed that on this GSX, guys, it's hard to see the marshal as they go. There he goes. Let's see if we're able to see him from inside. All right, start valve is closed. It's coming up to normal here. We'll go to the overhead. Start number 3. Start number 3. See if we can see this fella. How cool is this flight sim stuff? I wish I had started earlier. Great retirement project. There he is. Let's see if we can see him. Not really. Let's see if I can go way up here. Nope. All right, I'll just flash the light. We'll do a blind leap of faith. Tell them we're good to go. Have a good trip. All right. Engine starting. All right, starting engines checklist. Here it is. Pack switchers are off. Oh, I never turned the pack switchers off. Bad boy. Now they're back on, though. We're all started. So I don't know if that's just not simulated properly, guys. Let's turn off the APU. Bleed. And we turn off the APU. ICAS engine running, monitor parameters, we did all that. For taxi, APU selector is off. Pack switches are back on. Flaps set for takeoff and taxi light on. Let's go to flaps. Flaps to 20, please. Go back in here. My trim switches were bonded, so when I would try to do the elevated trim, it was bringing my flaps up on the previous flight. So when I crashed on that one, my trim zeroed out and my it was all sorts of problems. So now look at this. See if I can show you this. Doing this because you'll run into all this stuff here. Fuel center configuration overhead. turn these off. Now, if I were to leave these course feeds open, you're going to see this message right here. Fuel tank to engine. Fuel tank to engine. Go to the overhead. That's what I'm talking about, closing these cross feeds. And we're good. So now we got clean messages. Let's go over to our panel. And flight controls. Look down here. And I'm moving my rudder pedals. They're not moving, so I have to go reset my rudder pedals. All right, so there we go. Come in here. Get that back. Rudder pedals are moving now. Checking the displacement here. Normally you would hold on to the nose wheel steering over here when you did it. Elevators. You can see they're moving, right guys? You saw it here first, because I did have it where it wouldn't rotate before. And then spoilers are good. All right, so we have flight controls are checked. We have stab trims in the green. RTO is set. You don't arm the spoilers for takeoff, just for landing. Looks good. Taxi light is on. Fuel pumps are on. Hydraulic pumps are on. APU generator, we should have turned the APU off. That's coming down. Cool down is complete. And I think we're ready to go. So, and taxi light is on. Checklist. This electronic checklist is just rocks down here, but it doesn't work. So for takeoff, so we've got the APU, taxi lights are on. Before takeoff, let's do that here. We'll do strobe landing lights and TCAS TARA, which I think I've already done. Yep, we're TARA, and just going to be strobes and landing lights for takeoff. All right, we'll just do that. I'll remember that stuff. Strobes, landing light, it goes green, and there we go. In flight, takeoff, brakes release, power lever toga, press toga. Teach you how to do that. Okay, let's go. Okay, Brian, you can call for taxi, please. He already did, didn't he?
Embraer 225 Echo Mike, continue taxi on taxiway Lima, hold short of taxiway Bravo.
You know what, guys, he already
Calling for taxi clearance to
Lima, holding
runway
short of
16
Bravo,
right,
Embraer
Captain.
225 Echo Mike.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Brian. You already called for that. Disregard. Let's see if they, with this AI, if they can do that stuff.
No worries, Father Time. I'll disregard the last request. Let me know if you need anything else.
So we've got a few things going on here, guys, on the overhead. The pumps went back on by themselves. Okay, so we got, this is some, either a bonding problem, I bonded some things wrong, but we turned those center tanks back on somehow. And the engine, I knew I wasn't going crazy. There we go. Something, I'm gonna have to check where that is. What anti-ice switch off. That's weird. So something I've got going on here that I need to go ahead and correct that. I don't know if you leave that. We usually take off with them in auto. I don't know, guys. Maybe it thinks that we should have anti-ice on. See that one that says anti-ice? All right, we're just going to clear that. Clear it. We're not afraid. Okay, here we go. Yeah, in this airplane, you with say intentions, you'll get progressive taxi, a series of green arrows that said, yeah, oh, this says that the engine S is on. It says the engine ice is on for the two center aircraft engines. There we go. And parking brakes are released. It also has been locking up on me. It did it last flight too, where I'll be taxiing along. I won't set the brakes and it will just stop. I have to recycle the brakes to go. All right, so our takeoff brake, Brian did it for us. 3,000 is a good mid sector altitude. If we lose an engine, we'll come back in here. We can dump fuel. get down to max landing weight, which are already below max landing weight. And 3,000, as I mentioned, good mid sector, 18,000's transition. Our closeout came in, we're right on the numbers. We updated our zero fuel weight, we updated our trim, weights, winds, and temperatures. Winds are a headwind, and so we don't need to subtract anything. And good for a flex power takeoff, 39 degrees, D rate 1, with speeds of are set in the box. Checklist complete. How's that? Like The Exorcist. It's always an adventure with Father Time. Always an adventure. Okay, Brian, you can tell me we're ready for takeoff.
I'll let ATC know we're ready for takeoff.
How that happened.
Snohomish County Airport Tower, UPS 123 Heavy. Holding short of runway 16 right. We're ready for departure.
Yeah, I overshot this taxi. I don't know how that.
UPS 123 Heavy, Snohomish County Airport Tower, runway 16 right, wind 0905 at 6. Fly heading 160, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 16 right, heading 160, cleared for takeoff. UPS 123 Heavy.
All right, lights are on. Strobe lights are on. Lights are on. No one to chime. We can turn on the turn off lights there. All right, strobes and lights all good. For takeoff checklist is complete. All right, runway heading was 160 on the heading, climbing to flight level 200, eventually 35. And final is clear. Visually, runway's clear. And we're clear on the TCAS also. Turn this big boy around here. I think I'll get my drone camera set up before I take off here. It looks like it's off to the side. Yeah, see how it's stopping? I gotta cycle the brakes like that, and it works. Yeah, it's not moving, so I cycle the brakes, and it works. I don't know, guys. It's a simulator, right? If you don't enjoy this kind of stuff, I guess you shouldn't be flying the simulator. Now, let me just get my drone set up real quick. That's not a beneficial viewpoint for when you're going. Ready, fellas? Let's roll. I don't know if they have any switches modeled. Let me see something here. Nope. I have one here. Okay, thrust is set. It says checklist incomplete. Electronic checklist, 80 knots. It's funny since it doesn't work. And rotate. Oh, is it not going to work? There it goes. Come on, big mama. That's a checklist, guys. Pause the brake gear up. Once we pass 400 feet, we can go heading select 160. And it's heading select at 400 feet. Pretty nose heavy. You might have done all that forward CG.
UPS 123 Heavy, contact departure on 128.5.
Switching to departure on 128.5, UPS 123 Heavy.
All right, this climb power. We can go flaps to 5.
Seattle departure, UPS 123 Heavy, evening, climbing past 1500.
Brakes are off.
UPS 123 Heavy, Seattle departure, radar contact, cleared direct Zeta, climb and maintain flight level 200.
Cleared direct Zeta, climb and maintain flight level 200, UPS 123 Heavy.
200, autopilot's on. Direct to Zeta. good. Execute it. Just don't have any lights there, so we're a little limited in some of the stuff, but overall it's pretty good. So it's a pretty good model. When you consider how far these airplanes have come, oh my goodness, so you guys can't see this, but up in the upper left, it's got the map, moving map under the HSI. I don't know how to disable that. That's obviously not there on a real airplane. And you had the map going on the nav display too, so it's got some cool features. But remember the airliners when they first came out, Microsoft Flight Simulator, oh my god, they were terrible. They're great now. There's takeoff checklist, takeoff brakes released, toga, after takeoff, landing gears up, flaps up. That one's green, climb, taxi landing lights above 10, seatbelt signs above 10, and that'll be descent. So anyway, I thought that was pretty cool. That checklist there. I don't believe there's any interior modeled on this one. Oh yeah, look at that. The gear. You guys are so smart. And the nose gear in the cockpit. Make you guys sick.
UPS 123 Heavy, climb and maintain flight level 280.
Climb and maintain flight level 280. UPS 123 Heavy.
All right, let's get inside. Set our altitude to 280. Nice having a co-pilot, huh guys? 280. And we're out of 10, so we can go to the overhead and turn off the lights. We'll assume there's a couple of people back there. We just cycled the seatbelt sign, chime them. So we're just going to leave on the nav, beacon, and these strobes. I thought I turned those on too. Beacon should have been both. Okay. Yeah, I think I've got some... and it might be coming from my Bravo throttle quadrant. What do we got here, guys? Fuel pressure center, checklist incomplete, fuel low center. Yeah, I am definitely. Let's go here. Let's do something fun here. Let's go and go to escape. Go to settings. I mean, it's important. We learn how to do this, right? Controls. I think it's coming from my Bravo throttle.
UPS 123 Heavy, contact Seattle Center on 120.3.
See the filters, guys? I'm going to go here. Assigned.
Contacting Seattle Center on 120.3.
Engine
UPS
anti-ice
123
on.
Heavy.
That's it. Look at that. That's there. So I'm going to take that off. Engine anti-ice on. Turn that one off. This could be the...
Seattle
where
Center,
all my
UPS 123 evening,
problems are.
climbing through 15,000 for flight level 280.
UPS 123 Heavy, Seattle Center, good evening. Snohomish altimeter 29 or 0.9 or 1.
A little drift, huh, guys? All right, guys, let's go back in. We'll get rid of the rest of those bonds. This is really good. Good exercise for us, right? Controls. Set Bravo throttle quadrant. Assigned. Autopilot hold. I like all these. Autopilot nav 1 hold. Auto throttle to go around. Joystick G limiter on.
UPS 123 Heavy, Seattle Center, climb and maintain flight level 330.
Climb and maintain flight level 330. UPS 123.
Turn those off, guys. Secondaries. Turn those off. I'm going to do those. I'll be back. I'll do a couple more here in a second. Locked up. There we go. Better get inside again, right? Resume. And they gave us an altitude of 330. Let me set that. 230. Definitely getting a little drift here too. So it's kind of cool that we're learning this together, right? Coming up out of 18, I'll come back to that because I need to go back in here and settings. We're going to go controls, throttle quadrant, filters, assigned, auto throttle to go around, joystick, that's good. Mixture, we don't want that. Get rid of this, get rid of that. Settings, controls. I know we can do this all together, right? Assigned, spoiler axis. Yeah, we don't want that. Don't know what that is. So take that one off. Go back. Yeah, these are all on my Bravo throttle quadrant. Don't need any of that. Elevated trim, nose down, nose up. Joystick, no, I don't. This is Bravo throttle. No, I don't want that on there. Take that off. Go back. Elevated trim, nose up. That off. Delete it. Go back. I had all sorts of problems. So yeah, everyone has been complaining about increased flap, decreased flaps, arm modal spoilers, gear down, gear up, decreased mixture. Don't want that one. Go back.
UPS 123 Heavy, climb and maintain flight level 340.
Climb and maintain flight level 340. UPS 123.
Brian is doing a good job while I'm gone, isn't he? Throttle axis, yes. Decrease, feather, switch to, nope, we don't want that. I'll come back in and get that. Pitot heat off. I don't know what that one is. Get rid of that one. Go back. I'm going to save it, and we'll come back in. Let me come back in here and put 340 in the window. 340. 340 with the drift already. Enough already, right, guys? And here we come out of 18, guys. We'll get that set. We'll go play with that some more. Here's 18. Standard. Looks good. It's an interesting with this drift here. I may have to recalibrate my controller. Settings. Controls. Assign. This is great for all of us. Decrease mixture number 2. Yep. Go back. Auto engine start. Yep. Minus, plus. Don't know what that is, guys. I better not touch that. Go back. That's probably door light switch. Get ready. Lead pole on this one. Secondary. Primary. Go back. Lead
UPS
pole.
123 Heavy, climb and maintain flight level 350.
Climb and maintain flight level 350. UPS 123.
I think that's it, guys. Autopilot back course hold, flight level change, altitude hold, increase flap, parking brakes on. No, I don't want parking brakes on. So that might have been what was causing that problem, guys. Right there. Yeah. I have that on my Boeing yoke. All right, that's good. I think that was very valuable. Don't you? I think that was very valuable. And flight level 350. Yeah, I think that it's my yoke needs to be recalibrated. So I'm going to go do that. I think it's coming from my Boeing yoke, this drift. Anyway, guys, I'll be back. We'll still come back right from the descent. We've been in this ad. It's an hour 20. We'll get this in around 2 hours. Very, very valuable. We'll see you. Yeah, I went through and I recalibrated my all of my controllers. I think I fixed it. I think it was coming from the rudder pedals, my pending rudder pedals.
United 567, reduce speed to 230 knots for
Yeah,
sequencing.
this is funny, guys. Look at checklist.
230 knots, United 567.
And that checklist, that's this automatic checklist. To get an item, it tells you, but it doesn't work. So don't know why we have that. Let's just redo this, override it, and looking good. Yeah, a lot of good information here, guys, and a lot of good opportunities for you to tell me how to do things. But I know a lot of the people with Microsoft Flight Simulator, the biggest difficulty we've all been having is binding our controls. So we got a little bit of that here. Talked a lot, well, quite a bit about that. It's great. All right, guys, we're still got a ways to go. We have from Helena, we're still 309 miles. I thought what I'd try, I haven't tested this airplane. I assume it can do an ILS, but an RNAV. So I'm going to set us up for the RNAV Zulu, runway 27 at Helena. I noticed right there, the touchdown zone is 350. It's a pretty high altitude airport. It's got a 9,000 foot runway. So let's set up the RNAV Yankee. Let's see which one has a lower min here. 42. That's, I see. We'll say we can go all the way down to 4284. And this RNAV 1.3. So let's do the RNAV Zulu. Get that set up. And RNAV Zulu. Approach arrivals. Next page. RNAV Zulu 27. And we'll do from overhead the VOR. Is that the one I wanted to do? Yes. We'll let it fly it. So Helena. RNAV Zulu. That'd be interesting. Execute it. Let's come in here. Helena. We'll go direct. Execute it. Yeah, the light should be on here, guys. It's not coming on. Helena, let's take a look at this now. Get rid of that one. RNAV Zulu. Blow it up so we were all looking at the same thing here. You've got Helena. 7. This says a guppy above 11 and 210. So why don't we go over Helena at 210 and 12. Okay, 210 and 12. A guppy max of 210, BMAC, Cajun. We'll see if it does this.
UPS 123 Heavy, contact Seattle Center on 128.45.
Let Brian handle that.
Contact Seattle Center on 128.45, UPS 123
Bravo
Heavy.
above 7,400. Ejects it. He's going to check in 65. Cockpit is at about 7.
Seattle
Okay.
Center, UPS
3-degree
123
glide
Heavy,
path.
evening, maintaining
3-degree
flight
glide
level
path here.
350.
3-degree glide path there.
UPS 123 Heavy, Seattle Center, good evening.
Guys, what you do have to do on this approach is you got to set in your RNAV RNP 0.13. You're going to go to Prague, page 4, and set in 125 here. That makes your vertical track bars accurate, 125, and this was 0.13, anything below 0.13 for the RNP, right there. Going to do those two things. High altitude, what should we do for flap speed. And we'll go flaps 30. But that's going to come down a ways anyway. All right. Anyway, that's our plan. We'll come in. We'll do the RNAV approach in over Helena at 12 and 210. Let it fly this RNAV RNP to Zulu. And we're going down to minimums of 4172. I'll get that set.
Alaska 709, cleared direct to waypoint.
I spared you the time it took me to put in 4172. So there it is, 4172. So we set up prog page 4 of 0.13. That makes the track bars on the, it's going to be plus or minus 75 feet. It makes them accurate there by putting in 125. And 0.13 makes the accuracy appropriate. And so page 4, 125 is in there, 0.13. And you also have to check that your glide path is 3 degrees, which it is, and it matches what's in the box. And the last thing we need to talk about is missed approach. Probably be with tower, but published missed approach to 12,000, which is about 8,000 above the ground. RNAV missed approach to Pixie and hold. Sorry about the lighting, it's as bright as I can make it. Pixie 12,000 and hold, so we'll do it in LNAV. We need to go missed approach. Last thing we need to talk about is landing. $9,000-foot runway, no displaced threshold. Runway 27. Pappies on the left. Glides on the glide slope or on the RNAV. It's 150-foot runway, 7981. I want to see if there's any.
UPS 123 Heavy, Seattle Center. Expect the ILSY runway 27 approach into Helena. 0 on arrival. I'll call your descent in roughly 20 minutes. Let me know if you're ready earlier.
Expecting the ILSY runway 27 approach. 0 on arrival. We'll wait for your call on the descent. UPS 123.
Hey Brian, could you tell me that requesting the RNAV Zulu to runway 27? RNAV RNP Zulu, runway 27. So guys, the
I'll request the RNAV RNP Zulu
text with
approach
Alpha
to runway
Bravo
27
Charlie
for your father
between.
time.
So we're going to do a right-hand turn off. I'm making sure that we can runway 27. Okay, so we're going to come in here. Probably get off. I'll go all the way to the end. Oh, the terminal's right here. So get off at Gulf and park at the terminal. It's a helicopter ramp, so we don't want to go there. Yeah, we'll just park at the terminal. You could go to the end or to there. So, all right, good. See if Brian can get that. He hasn't called him yet. I can always call. I'll get the radio call, Brian. And UPS 123 request.
UPS 123 Heavy, go ahead with your request.
UPS 123 Heavy requests the RNAV RNP Zulu from the Helena transition to runway 27.
UPS 123 Heavy, cleared for the RNAV RNP Zulu approach to runway 27 via the Helena transition.
Cleared for the RNAV RNP Zulu approach to runway 27 via the Helena transition. UPS 123.
All right, guys, so 236 miles, and we're at 35,000 feet, which is 32,000 above the ground. I want to be down at 12 at the VOR, so that's 23,000 feet to lose. Times 3 is 69, plus 10, 79 or 80. So about 80 miles before Helena, we'll want to start down. 80 miles before Helena is in 150 miles. We're doing 8 miles a minute, 150. So it's about 17 or 18 minutes. We'll start a descent. So I'll come back because because we're already an hour 30 into this. Let me know what you think, please, in the comments, suggestions. Join Discord, help us all out while trying to grow in this hobby. It's just a blast being part of this group. It really is. But I'll leave the link in the description. You just accept the rules of conduct, and then you're free to come into the general section. To fly the MD-11, I am on the TFDi Quality Assurance. I have some great checklists over there. If you haven't seen my MD-11 stuff, I also have done a bunch of stuff on the Mad Dog, which I have time in. If you haven't flown me, I started off in the Air Force, T-37s, tankers, mostly an instructor in T-37s for 5 years. I went on to do 7.2 engineer with America in 1987. Then I flew the A300, got my training over in Toulouse, so I have 300-600 videos posted for that great product by IndyBuild. Then I went over to the MD-11 as an FO. I had 5,000 hours in the Airbus. MD-11 I had 2,000. Did that between 92 and 97. Then I went to Super 80 as a captain in 1997. Did that for 5 years. Got a couple thousand hours as a captain and instructor. Then I went to the 7675 for 14 years as captain, international captain. Got 5,000 hours in that airframe, those airframes. We had 76200s, 300s, and 75. Then after that, I went back to the 73, just to fly domestic for a couple of years, visit some friends, before I spent my last 5 years on the 777. I've made videos on, a lot of videos obviously on the 777, on P3D, and over here on PMDG aircraft. I haven't done many on the 7675, it's not a good model for them yet. I've done the Leonardo MD-80 series, done a bunch on them. I have done the Phoenix, I've done the A380, I've done over on 20 flights in 2020, a bunch on this airplane. I've used FSI panel, I do a lot of FSI panel work. If you haven't used that, you should try it. I've done the Say Intentions, and also Beyond ATC as my app. So I do quite a bit, and we spent some time on Discord. Like I said, a great group of guys, various backgrounds, very civil, very calm, non-toxic group. But I'll come back on when we start our descent in about 12 minutes. Just wanted to introduce myself and welcome you aboard. It's beautiful mountains we're flying over here. Let's see. I'm going to show my ignorance. And I'm going to wonder what mountain range this is, because I actually don't know. Is it the Rockies? Part of the Rockies? Going through Montana. We are presently 140 miles west, excuse me, of Helena. So we're starting our descent here at about 60 miles. 60 miles divided by 8, about 7.5 minutes when we start our descent. We come up here and put in airports. Bring out the range a long way out. Bring it back in. We're coming up over GMSO. So, GMSO. I'm sorry, KMSO. How's that? Missoula, Montana. So we're over Montana. Very cool.
Spirit 792, expect direct waypoint Tango India Mike in 5 minutes.
Expecting direct to Tango India Mike in 5, Spirit 792.
So we have the approach briefed. They've told us to, he actually cleared us for the approach, but we'll request 12,000. As we get closer, I'll try and do that. Getting a new motherboard, and a new processor coming in. Tell me what you guys think of that. I'll show you the one I ordered. Hang on. Here it is right here. The guys on my Discord told me I should get this. It's not cheap, so I got it for my Christmas present. I celebrate Christmas. So my wife's giving me this for my Christmas present. She's been wondering, what do you get a 66-year-old guy who doesn't really need anything? Well, you can upgrade the nerd's computer. So they told me this was a good one to get. I don't know how to install it myself. I understand it's pretty easy, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to pay someone to do that as part of my Christmas present. I think it's about $800 to combined here, being delivered tomorrow. And I'll try to get them next week. I'll bring my computer in, try to get them installed. It really ought to do it. I have a 3080. One of the guys on my Discord said, don't bother with the 4090. What you really need is a motherboard.
UPS 123 Heavy. Contact Salt Lake Center on 127.075.
Contact Salt Lake Center on 127.075. UPS 123 Heavy.
So you see Brian's doing all this stuff himself. 127.705, and he'll check in. Heard something click when I just did that.
Center, good evening.
All right, so Brian just checked in for us. Yeah, if you'll notice, guys, these engines cycle here. I know working on TFDi, our Pratt Whitneys are
UPS
doing
123
that.
Heavy, Salt Lake Center, cleared Zeron arrival into Helena. When you're ready, descend and maintain flight level 260.
Cleared Zeron arrival into Helena. Descend and maintain flight level 260 when ready. UPS 123 Heavy.
I'm going to put it 260 here, guys. He cleared as the Zeron arrival. I don't really want to do that. I'm going to request direct Helena.
UPS 123 Heavy, descend and maintain flight level 230.
Descend and maintain flight level 230. UPS 123 Heavy.
I put in 23 here. And we are 103 miles, so I think what I'm going to do is be very directive. We have artificial intelligence here, so I'm going to have him request it. And Brian, can you request direct to Helena? And we'd like to fly the RNAV Zulu runway 27 with the Helena transition, requesting 12,000 feet. See if he gives us all that, guys.
Requesting direct to Helena with RNAV Zulu runway 27 approach and descent to 12,000 feet, Captain.
I don't think Brian likes me. We don't have the Zeron arrival here, guys, at Helena. That's why I'm doing that.
Salt Lake Center, UPS 123, requesting direct to Helena. RNAV Zulu approach for runway 27 with the Helena transition and descent to 12,000 feet.
UPS 123 Heavy, cleared direct to Helena, RNAV Zulu approach for runway 27 via the Helena transition. Descend and maintain 12,000 feet.
Isn't that
Cleared
great?
direct to Helena, RNAV Zulu approach runway 27 via Helena transition. Descend and maintain 12,000 feet. UPS 123.
All right, so guys, we have 12,000 feet set. You can see the top of descent is up here. He cleared us to descend now. VNAV, descend now. Now we can go down. I think what I'm going to do is I really don't want to descend this early. Got a little ways to go, so I think I'll go vertical speed. I'm going to see if my vertical speed works on here. On my controls, which I bonded. No, it doesn't. Okay, it's okay. And I'm just going to roll this down. And we'll just descend at 500 feet per minute until we intercept the VSI, then we'll get back into VNAV. Let's talk about the RNAV arrival. So what I use is, I use them on the Airbuses, I use it on these, it works. I use them on McDonnell Douglas, the TFDi. 2 buttons, 2 windows. So we're clear for the approach. we're going to push two buttons, which is LNAV and VNAV, and two windows, bottom altitude and here. So let's say we're cleared for the VNAV RNP. We put in the minimums, 4172. I think it'd be 4200 here. We're going to go two buttons, LNAV, VNAV, two windows. We're going to go VNAV and speed intervene. And the way we speed intervene is we just press here and we'll get our number. We'll just whatever we want, because we're going to fly speed intervention the whole way and put in the bottom altitude. Two buttons, LNAV, VNAV, wait a minute, speed intervene, get our speed where we want it, and then dial in our minimums. That's two buttons and two windows. So Helena, we're 80 miles out. I want to be at 12,000 feet, so that's 22,000 feet to lose. Times 3 is 66, plus 10, because I have to slow down, is about 76. So we're right about there now. You can see that the PSI is coming down, VTI, vertical track indicator. When that gets in the middle, I will go to back into VNAV and we'll give a path when it comes down. We're only doing 500 feet per minute, so it should be coming down very slowly. I think I'll come up and grab it a little bit. We'll expect it to come down here in a second. And I think what I'll do is I'm just going to go speed Mach. I'll descend at 277, it's fine. And we're going to do, we'll do VNAV perf descent, and we'll do 280 knot descent. I guess I got to do that here. Usually it takes that, but that's okay. It's not doing it. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Oh, and there's our vertical nav there. See, it came down. We're at speed, coming down to get it. And what I'll do, guys, I'll speed intervene here. And I'll go flight level change down to get down to the path. Here it comes. I'll get ready for VNAV. Not sure how it's going to work. I don't know how sophisticated this airplane is. The third-party apps will actually work, right? It's coming up nicely. See the VTI, that's because I have in at 125. It's telling me I'm out of range. It would be using 400 now if I didn't do that. So here we are, 177. Get ready with the VNAV. 40, 30. I'm just waiting for it to come up. It's 100. 90. Here comes the path. Ready.
United 938, maintain Mach 80. Maintaining Mach 80, United 938.
That should do it. I'm going to put the speed in, speed intervention, 275, and it's coming down nicely. If you want to hustle it down, you can pop a little speed brake. That'll help it get onto the path. Hey, speed brake is not armed. It's not in that. It's another exciting thing here. So let's go escape. Settings. Controls. Bravo throttle quadrant. Search. speed brake, speed, brakes. Nope. So how about spoilers? Toggle spoilers, spoiler axis, scanning. There it is. Go back, sync, back. Now this should work. Here we go. So it's a good lesson. We're learning a lot here, aren't we? How we doing on the vertical track? We'll back it up. We want to be down at 12, so 15 is 43. Let's say that is 45, but we want to slow down. We're a little bit above the path. I'll do the speed brakes just to help me get down a little. There it is. Yeah, I'm not sure, guys. Now it says it's in path, which is good. I kind of had to help it with the throttles, bring the throttles to idle on my home computer. They're in path. It's coming down nicely. And it knows it needs to be at 210 when I get above. This is the missed approach here, by the way. That is not where we're going. We're going Helena. All right, good. We're in path, going down to 12 for the approach. And we're presently 40 miles out. And Brian, could you tell them request, we'd like to be cleared for the RNAV RNP Zulu runway 27. Because I want to be able to put
requesting RNAV RNP Zulu approach for runway 27 at Helena, father time.
Salt Lake Center, UPS 123 Heavy, requesting RNAV RNP Zulu approach to runway 27 at Helena.
UPS 123 Heavy, expect the RNAV RNP Zulu approach to runway 27 at Helena.
All right,
expect the RNAV RNP Zulu approach to runway 27, UPS 123.
All right,
Heavy.
guys. He did not clear us for the approach, so I have to leave 12,000 in the window. Pretty country, huh? You guys watch Yellowstone? I was worried about this final season with Kevin Costner not in it, but it's pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. It looked like they modeled the jet blast. Guys, please don't think I'm being critical. I'm really not. I'm doing some observations. I fly a lot of third-party add-ons, you know, TFDi MD-11, PMDG 777, PMDG 73, the Phoenix, Leonardo, any builds. You guys know. But even the fly-by-wire airplanes, great. That freeware, those great.
UPS 123 Heavy, descend and maintain 9,000, altimeter 29.901.
Descend and maintain 9,000, altimeter 29.901, UPS 123.
All right, guys, I'll set 9 in here, even though I want to cross the VOR at 12. It should do that on the if we're in VNAV path. So I'll set 9 in.
UPS 123 Heavy, turn right, heading 140 vectors for the RNAV runway 27 approach.
Right heading 140 for the RNAV runway 27 approach, UPS 123.
And Brian, can you tell me we'd like to fly the whole approach from the starting at Helena?
I'll inform ATC that we'd like to fly the full approach from the initial fix.
Salt Lake Center, UPS 123, requesting clearance to fly the complete RNAV approach, starting from the initial fix at Helena.
UPS 123 Heavy, cleared for the complete RNAV approach, starting from the initial fix at Helena.
Cleared for the complete RNAV approach from the initial fix at Helena. UPS 123.
Thank you, Brian. So guys, I'm going to set the minimums now because we're clear for the approach. That's 4,200. I'm just trying to see if this airplane can do it, this add-on airplane. So now we are cleared for the approach. Technically, if I put this in like that, now that's slowing all the way down to 211. I don't want to do that. So I'll go down to 250. And we got a ways to go. I should keep the speed up. We're still in path.
Beechcraft 901 Alpha Tango, report altitude. Currently at 8,000, Beechcraft 901 Alpha Tango.
All right, so we are cleared for the approach. The minimums are 4172, so 4,200 is set. We can do 2 buttons, 2 windows. 2 buttons are LNAV, VNAV. We speed intervened, and the 2 windows, we got the bottom altitude in. 2 buttons, speed intervene, bottom altitude is set, and we are in path. All right, this is it. Coming in nicely. So if this makes sense, we have 12 miles to go, lose 2,000 feet, and slow to 210. So really, I don't know if it knows, guys. We did have 210 in there, but that's our technique. That's not the box didn't want that. I put that speed in. Start letting it slow down a little. I just like to be slow on these things. I can see the airport right below us. See it off our nose.
UPS 123 Heavy, contact Helena approach on 119.5.
Switching to Helena approach on 119.5. UPS 123 Heavy.
All right, this flaps
Helena
fine.
approach. UPS 123 evening. Descending through 13,000 feet down to 9,000.
UPS 123 Heavy, Helena approach. Good evening. Expect the RNAV C runway 27 approach into Helena. Altimeter 29.901.
Expect the RNAV C runway 27 approach. Altimeter 29901. UPS 123 Heavy.
Here we are, guys. Got to get the
UPS
spoilers
123
on.
Heavy, 6 miles from Lake V. Turn right heading 275 until established. Cleared for the RNAV runway 27 approach.
Right heading 275 until established. Cleared for the RNAV runway 27 approach. UPS 123.
All right, guys. We're not doing that. They don't know where we are, so we're just going to fly this whole approach here. I asked it to be at 210 and 12 over there, and then we're going to let it fly it all in VNAV and VNAV path. We've got flaps at 5. Spoilers are arm, auto brakes are 2. Again, we're planning on turning off on the runway probably at Gulf and taxi in and shut it down. This is fun. So we'll see how this does on its approach. If we go in here, can we see it? Let me see here. RNAV RNP Zulu. It's not showing up there. Oh, it says connector's not going, so do this. Give it a shot. There we go. We'll watch it on that. That'll be fun. I'll come back to that for you when we get it. I'll leave this right about like that so you guys can watch it. Have a little fun with it, okay? Here we go. We're pleased. It's right on the VTI. It's doing the airspeeds. We're going to control the airspeeds manually. I'm going to get the heading bug all the way around to final approach. Just so I'm not doing that later on. Bring this around to 270. Don't want to be hustling to do that later. The ILS it slews automatically, but not here. So the airport's now behind us. There it is. How's that? I love this stuff. Man, I love this stuff. If you want to know how far we are from the field, it's coming down nicely. Prague, we're 34 miles out, so we got a ways to go. Yeah, these RNAV RNPs or AR approaches, you definitely want to be slow rather than fast and give the airplane a fighting chance. It's doing a nice job though. It's yeah, it's got everything in there. It's doing a heck of a job. Got another one. I see something. Oh boy, I hope that didn't just do something there. I just clicked one of my preset views and it turned right. Huh. Yeah, maybe I messed that up. Captain Marvel, out of 10. Let's go to the overhead, turn on the lights. There's nobody on board, but turn on the seatbelt sign, cycle it. That message you just heard there, it said fuel pressure center. Oh, when I played with that switch, that's what it did. It turned back on the center tank pumps. That's what that was. It turned on the generator, APU generator. Turned on the APU rather. All right, so I got some work to do on turning those off. More mapping. Won't do that right now. It's arcing on in. Yeah, so guys, it looks like this does. If this handles this well, I'll be very impressed. Very impressed. Now, on the RNAV, we could put in the ILS frequency for backup. Why don't we do that? Let's have a little fun here. Approach 110.1 at 271. 110.1 at 271. Oh, it's not going to let me do it because we're on the RNAV. You little devil. Oh, well. Yeah, we could have done the ILS, but this is fun. I really wanted to test this airplane out. I'm impressed. I'm going to give this a good rating because I really believe, you know, this is, it's in the beta, probably a late beta stages, I would say. If this were payware, maybe because of the surging engines, a lot of the buttons, some of the buttons don't work. Most of the issues that we've had were because of me having not having anything bonded correctly. How we doing here? We're right on the RNP. See how I put 125 in there? And that's the course right there. The other thing I should have checked was make sure that the runway is our missed approach, is our last point, and the altitude is correct, which it is.
2,500.
Coming down nicely. How far out are we? We are 10 miles to go. Let's bring the speed back. Go flaps 15. Flaps 10 rather. We'll go gear down. What is our approach speed that we're looking for? 156. Let's go flaps 20. We can bring our speed all the way back. And flaps 30. Forward landing checklist. Forward landing checklist is gear, flaps, brakes, spoilers are
UPS 123 Heavy, contact Helena Tower on 118.3.
Switching to Helena Tower on 118.3. UPS 123 Heavy.
Look at this beautiful airplane, guys. Not seen any of the lights on, even though they're on. That's not modeled.
Seattle Center, UPS 123 Heavy.
Maybe.
We're established on the RNAV approach for runway 27.
Yeah, it's not yet modeled.
UPS 123 Heavy, Seattle Center, good evening, Helena, altimeter 29.901. UPS 123 Heavy, Helena Tower, wind 325 at 3, runway 27, cleared to land.
Runway 27, cleared to land, UPS 123 Heavy.
Yeah, lights are all on, so I guess that's just not modeled yet. And somehow those beacons, we definitely turned those on, went off again. So something's going on with my bindings for the lighting. I've got a lot of work to do there. These hydraulic pumps keep coming off too. All right, let's start off the autopilot and see how she flies. And one last thing, remember we're going to do a right-hand turn off, park somewhere over in the terminal. Autopilot's off. It's working. And there's no, that autopilot off sound is not modeled evidently. So far it's flying nicely. 1,000. Stable. Using a combination of the glide path, the VTI there. It looks like the ILS might be tuned in the background. That white dot there. Looking for the VASIs. Now these giant airplanes like the A380 and this big thing, a lot of times you want to get one red and some whites. One red and whites. Yeah, coming down, just dropping on down here. 500. Stable target. Sinking 1200, there it is.
Approaching minimums. 300. Minimums.
See how I can do. I'm going to break the seek around 50 feet, I think.
200. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Nice. Captain Marvel. See if my reverses are mounted.
24 Foxtrot Delta, cleared to land runway 31.
Cleared to land runway 31.
Coming out of reverse.
4 Foxtrot Delta.
I'm pleased. Yeah, guys, I like the model. It's a beta. It's going to get better and better, but it definitely...
UPS 123 Heavy, welcome to Helena. Contact ground on 121.9er.
Contacting ground on 121.9er. UPS 123 Heavy.
There's Golf.
Helena ground, UPS 123. Heavy evening. We're clear of runway 27 and ready to taxi to the gate.
UPS 123 Heavy, Helena ground, taxi to general aviation parking via Bravo Charlie. Have a good day.
Bravo Charlie to general aviation parking. UPS 123 Heavy.
We'll park right over here. We'll general aviate ourselves. All right, beacons, we can leave those on. Strobes are off. Lights are off. APU is starting. After landing checks complete. Start turning in. Find someplace to park this bad boy. I doubt any of these gates can handle us. Wonder if I solve my parking brake problem by unbonding that. You guys see any place over here? I don't know. We'll just put it in here somewhere. I wouldn't want to get much closer. I'll try to roll a little further up to get away from the taxiway if I can. Okay, brakes. I park. Overhead. Seatbelt sign is off. APU is running. You can chop them. Back up here. Get my lights coming down. Taxi lights are off. Beacon lights are off. Nav will leave on. Strobes are off. Wings are off. Logos off. Brakes are parking. And we got to get the hydraulic pumps are off. Turn off the demand pumps too. Yeah, I got some bonding to work on, don't I, guys? Got some funky things. But that was kind of cool because for us, we're all trying to learn this new process. And that's good. Put the APU bleed on, get the packs running. And I'll go GSX, see if we can get to this airplane deplaned here. No, can't. Okay. I think that's pretty good. Go to deck to the overhead. I'll turn off the IRUs. Standby power. APU's running. Want to see how to get out of here? Let me see if I can show you this now that I open my big mouth here. And here we are. Help these guys out. Hi guys. Captain Marble here. Let me get these doors for you. Full service guys. These UPS guys do everything. How you doing? Father Time here. Looks no worse for the wear, huh guys? Bad. Turn towards it. See if I can get it going. Here we go. That's the aft cargo, forward cargo. Bulk doesn't work evidently. There's one more over here. I don't know. See what you guys think of this product. I think it's great. That door is open as well. Is it? Yeah, it's open. All right. All right, guys. That's it. Welcome to Helena. Please don't forget to subscribe, join the Discord, leave comments, like the video. If you like the video, like the video. All right, guys, that's it. That was a lot of fun. Man, I had a blast with that stuff. Okay, Father Time's out. See ya.